Tonight, I weave for you the tale of a kingdom wreathed by sea and sand. The heroine of our story is a charming princess who seeks true love for herself. Rolling over both sea and desert, this kingdom thrives in trade. And its queen has issued a notice. My beautiful princess no longer smiles. Any man who returns her joy may have her. The men in the courtyard queue in place, waiting to claim the princess for themselves. The first hopeful begins to speak. But his words do not reach her. She does not smile. The men's words are hollow things. They tell the princess they see her only for her station. But that error is not theirs alone. Indeed, all who live in the kingdom are blind. They cannot see the princess for who she truly is. With her face a stone, the men surrender and return to their homes. No one understands me, she sighs. But then, a lone boy dressed as a sailor appears before her, one barely on the cusp of manhood. He makes no mark on her, for today she has seen more strange men than there are stars in the sky. The boy begins to spin a tale of wild adventure. He speaks of a djinn he met on a journey. He speaks of desert islands filled with wonders, of seas so vast their edges have never been found. The princess is enraptured by his tale. She stares at him from behind her veil, saying not a word. On the queen's signal, the boy is escorted away. His voice grows distant, and silence soon returns to the palace. As the princess ponders this development, another uninvited guest comes to see her. The dark of night falls over the palace as the princess rushes through its halls. The fantastical palace in which she lives is in truth a prison that has stolen her freedoms. The words she uses, the way she acts, even the order in which she eats her food. Every aspect of her life had been decided from the day of her birth. No one has ever seen the true me. None of the men, and not even that boy. Day after day, she plays the role of a demure princess. Unable to bear this curse, she eventually lost the will to smile. Her bedroom is adorned with the most elegant and fanciful decorations. It is one of the few places she can find peace. At a signal from her lady-in-waiting, the princess changes her clothes. The moon once again emerges from behind the clouds. She stares at herself in the mirror, dressed now in the guise of a fortune teller. It is a persona she assumes only when the sun takes its leave from the sky. She orders her lady-in-waiting to keep watch, then slips from the palace without a sound. She will be greeted by the bustle of a city bathed in danger and vice. And it is there that she will slip the pent-up frustrations of her carefully orchestrated life. Every night, the princess slips out of the palace for her own amusement. She sits in a dim and dingy alleyway, one that lies forgotten by the people of the city. This small tent is the princess's second home. It is a place where she tells fortunes, one of her own creation. Yet her divinations often ring true, and rumors claim her words can change fate itself. She waves her hands over a crystal ball for her first couple of the night. Even as a child, the princess possessed a gift for fortunes. She sees the couple's fate in the crystal ball and prepares to speak it aloud. The light within the ball grows faint and vanishes. With an exaggerated inflection, she speaks. Your man is unfaithful. He spends his free nights prowling the city for new partners. Betrayed, the woman rushes away in tears. The princess's divinations often tear seemingly happy couples apart. Whenever this occurs, she feels her melancholy ease. When she assumes the guise of the fortune teller, none realize she is the princess. This only confirms her suspicion that no one sees her for who she truly is. Not a soul within the palace, nor a soul without. Another vision flickers to life in her crystal. She sees strangers peering into her world. The princess quickly recovers from the unexpected occurrence and informs the couple of the result. It is a dangerous game to toy with the heart of another. But be it as fortune teller or princess, the woman knows salvation will never come for her. Alas, her life proceeds on a path that is set by another. As the princess sits deep in thought, a familiar boy passes before her tent. It is the sailor, the selfsame one who came to the palace spinning tales of adventure. Perhaps he sees the real me. She decides to test his motives. She forecasts his grim end with these words: "Death awaits if you continue to see the princess." But then, the boy bursts into loud, innocent laughter. She watches him as he vanishes into the thick of the crowd. I wonder if he will come to the palace tomorrow, she thinks to herself. And as she slowly makes her way home, she finds her steps to be lighter than usual. The light of the sun gently illuminates the princess as it awakens from slumber. Though she warned the sailor boy of his fate, continues to come see her. She knows he will be back again today. Day after day, he flashes a daring grin as he fabricates tales of adventure. He wants so badly to see her smile. And at some point, she finds herself taken with him. The boy appeared before her like a bird that rules over the free skies. Perhaps she can flee her kingdom prison with him, and only him. She arrives in the palace courtyard. The sailor boy greets her with a confident grin. She stares at him from behind her veil. She can feel him looking at her. Not her riches, not her status, her. Yet though she so desperately wants to believe his heart to be true, she cannot shake her doubts. After a moment of thought, she decides to test him. She walks toward him. In a faint voice no louder than a whisper, she graces him with a plea. Elated, he leaves the palace, thinking to have finally obtained the princess's heart for himself. But she knows the truth. When they next meet, it will be clear if he truly sees her or not. Alas, there is a demon whose sharp eyes see through the princess's intentions. The princess and fortune teller stand together in her room. The princess has come up with a plan to test the sailor boy. Will he see the rich clothes of her lady-in-waiting and assume she is his prize? In her guise as fortune teller, she can only pray he makes the right decision. Concealing herself, she awaits. At last, the sailor comes to the princess's room. As the scene unfolds, her heart sinks in her chest. The sailor does not recognize the lady-in-waiting in disguise and quickly spirits her away. The sailor boy is just another grain of sand in an uncaring desert. And short-lived as it was, the princess curses herself for permitting her heart to feel joy. A lonely wind dances through the nighttime city. In fortune teller's garb, the princess follows the sailor boy and her lady-in-waiting, who is still disguised as herself. She orders her guards to kill the sailor. For what meaning has his life if he does not see her for who she truly is? She thinks back on the day they first met. He spun a magical tale of traveling the world. From the day of her birth, the princess has been bound to the stone that is her kingdom. But the boy came to speak with her countless times, eventually setting her heart aflame. She had so desperately wished to fly to freedom with him. But now her heart lays in ashes. She has been betrayed, undone. It has been a long time since she smelled the salt of the sea. The beach is unnaturally quiet, the sand darkened with blood. What awaits the princess is a truth she can scarcely believe. The sailor boy is protecting her disguised lady-in-waiting. The boy risks his life to protect a false princess, yet the true one sees it as a fruitless act. I am the princess, but her silent scream echoes only in her mind. As the battle in the bay continues, dawn encroaches on the territory of night. When sun and moon meet in the sky, they point their blades at one another. At the end of the battle, the sailor boy falls unconscious, steadfast in his decision to stay with the princess to the bitter end. Though the princess finds her will to live fading, one last idea comes to her. She will set to sea with the boy, and they will slip the mortal coil as one. The sea glimmers in the morning light, silent watcher as sailor and princess cross its waters. Here, the kingdom cannot reach them. Here, a girl is not bound to her royal status. As the sailor awakens, his expression twists into one of hatred. No one had ever seen the princess for who she truly is. She has been destined to forever be a symbol. Yet before her stands a mere boy who only wanted the princess's smile for himself. We... Tangled in an ironic embrace, we sink into the sunless depths.
I stare at her with pure hate as the moonlight washes over us.
I smile then, for he is finally looking at me, and only me.
Their brief meeting ultimately brought them here.
My wish is granted at long last, and I take it with me. Into the depths of the cold, cold sea.